guys, it's Miss Simpson and it's time for math today. So we are still going to talk about protractors, and I want to review with you how to measure angles using a protractor. Since you guys don't have protractors at home, I know one of you does, but since most of you don't have protractors at home, I like to use these little cards that have protractors on them already for you. So let's talk about the STAR test. The STAR test, you will not be using a protractor. The protractor is going to look like this. So I'm literally just comparing. I'm literally just showing you what and preparing you for the STAR test. So let's look at these protractor cards. So remember, the first thing that you do is you have to figure out, is the angle acute, right, or obtuse? So look at this angle right here. Is it acute, right, or obtuse? Well, you should know that this is obtuse because it is more than 90 degrees, right? That is what an obtuse angle is, right? So when I take a look at obtuse, there are two numbers. There's a top number that is smaller and a bottom number that is bigger. Remember, if you have an obtuse angle, you're going to have to use the number that is bigger because it's bigger or larger than 90 degrees. So if I take a look right here, it is going right through the 110 degree mark. And you're saying, Miss Simpson, I have no clue what that number is. It looks like it's just 10. Well, guys, this protractor counts by tens. So it's 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. So it counts by 10. So if ever you're having trouble reading something on a protractor, just know it counts by tens. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Is this an acute, a right, or an obtuse? This is an acute angle, right? Because it's smaller than 90 degrees. So am I going to use the top number that's smaller or the bottom number that's larger? The top number, right? And I don't know if you can see. Let me see how close I can get this without it becoming blurry. I can see that this is right close to that 50. So it looks like it's 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 degrees. All right, I want to show you one that I have not yet taught you. I taught you a little bit about when they look like this, but I haven't taught you much about when they look like this. So let's look at it. If you remember from last time, you are just going to pick the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. For these angles, when they're all funky like this, it does not matter. You pick either the top or the bottom, and you figure out where each of the rays are. Remember, a ray is like this. An angle is made up of two rays, so you're going to measure where each of the rays are. This one is at 125 degrees, and this one is at 160 degrees. And now all you have to do is take 160 and 125 and subtract them. And you get 35 degrees. Now, this angle, does it look acute, right, or obtuse? It looks acute, right? So does 35 degrees, does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense because it is an acute angle. Okay, we're going to do a couple more like that, and then I want to talk about your assignment. Let's look at this one. Do y'all want to use the top number or the bottom number? I'm going to use the top number just because that's what I'm used to. This ray crosses right through the 150. This ray crosses 41, 42, 43, 45, right through to 45. So when I figured out where both rays are, I'm going to subtract them. 150 minus 45 is 105 degrees. Does this look like a 105 degree angle? Yeah, because it's obtuse, so we know that that makes sense. Now, if you come up with an angle that's like 480 degrees, does that make sense? No, that's more than a circle. A circle is 360. So make sure when you're measuring your angles that it actually makes sense. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit more about measuring those angles, let's look at today's assignment. You're saying, whoa, Miss Simpson, I've never seen anything like that. Well, guess what? You calm down because I'm going to show you. When it says angle TXW, it's talking about T. You see how there's a T there? X, W. That is the angle it would talk about. So in order to measure angle TXW, I would subtract the T side from the W side. So which angle has a measure closest to 120 degrees? So when it says closest to, does that mean it has to be exactly 120 degrees? No, it doesn't have to be exactly 120 degrees, but it needs to be close. So this angle right here, VXW, that is an acute angle. So can that be 120 degrees an acute angle? No, it cannot be 120 degrees. So think about this logically. So this one, which angle has a measure closest to 10 degrees? So find the acute angle and look, some of them are pretty easy. Look at this one, TXU. Really, really tiny. So I'm not asking you to necessarily measure those. I'm asking you to estimate and give me a closest, the closest one to that angle. So there is one on the back. It is saying Paula using a protractor to construct an angle. First, she draws the ray RS. So down here, as shown in the protractor. So to complete a 45 angle, Paula should draw another ray that starts at point R and passes through which point? So which one would be 45 degrees? Angle RW, RV, RU, RT. Which one of these is going to give her a 45 degree angle? And then to complete a 140 degree angle, which one is it going to be? Which point is it going to pass through to make that angle right there? And then these down here, you haven't learned that yet. You will this week, but you haven't yet. So I X'd those off and I don't want you to do them. So remember, this is an estimate. And back here, you're figuring out which point it would cross through to complete a 45 degree angle. All right, one more thing. Remember, to see what angle it's talking about, if it is telling you TXV, you would go TXV. And if I were you, since you guys are on Canvas, I would highlight TXV and then figure out how much that is, maybe right next to it, how many degrees that is. And then I would erase it and do it with the next angle. Some of them you can do it just by looking. Like this one right here is pretty tiny. All right. I love y'all so much. Y'all have fun doing that assignment. Bye.